afternoon, Broncos, and thank you for joining us today. I'm CJ Craig.
And I'm Jackson Robottom, and you're here with UCentral News. Now, the Central Pantry has added another way for students to get food.
That's right. Bronco Bites is now available to students. UCentral's Maury Blair is there right now to tell us how students can get involved. Maury?
Okay, thank you, Jackson and CJ. We're out here actually on the first floor of the Nye Center near the northwest entrance on the first floor, accessible through that way as well as by elevator. But we're out here outside of UCentral Pantry. They closed at 4 p.m. However, UCentral's Tanner Pippins was here earlier today and has more information for us.
Bronco Bites is an on-campus initiative put together to help reduce food waste and provide meals for the UCO campus community. The leftover food is from Ayers and is rerouted to the Bronco Bites refrigerator, which is located outside the central pantry on the first floor of the Nye. The boxes are compostable and can be recycled. This food is available for all students, faculty, and staff to take on the go. You can sign up for notifications on the UCO website or scan the QR code out front that is on the wall for alerts and notifications on when the refrigerator will be stocked. Volunteers are needed to package, record, label, and transport the food from Ayers Kitchen. If you are interested, you can scan the QR code and sign up for notifications. Reporting from the bottom of the Nye, UCentral News, Tanner Pippins.
Thank you very much, Tanner. If you would like to get involved, you can volunteer online.
That's right. Volunteers are critical to making Bronco Bites happen. Shifts will be available every weekday that campus is open. All volunteers will be asked to meet with a Bronco Bites representative at the start of each shift. And it has definitely been getting colder outside as we stumble upon the spooky season as Halloween is quickly approaching us. Jackson, what can you tell us about the weather that's going to be happening this week?
That's right, getting a little bit cooler for spooky season. It's coming our way. But right now, current temperature sitting out here at about 66 degrees, partly cloudy, giving you a little bit of a cover. But winds are coming out right now in force, although that will be dying down as we get later into the night and into the upcoming days. It will still be windy, but not quite to this degree. Coming out of the south right now, about 25 to 35 miles per hour. Humidity sitting right there, about 38%, giving us the feeling of it being a little bit cooler than what the temperature actually reads. Sitting here, 63 degrees is what it feels like compared to the actual. And we're going to have a few weather headlines going into the Halloween weekend, Halloween being Monday. We're going to have some cooler Halloween temperatures with some high winds and a few showers accompanying it. Nothing too terrible, but it will be coming down in part with moderation. And fall temperatures are going to be here to stay. Long gone are the days of the 80s. We will have some 70s coming up a little bit later, but for now, it's going to be largely 60s to 40s for lows. We will have more for you with our full weather forecast, but for now, I'm going to toss it back to CJ to continue the news.
Thank you, Jackson. And UCO is getting in the Halloween spirit. Broncothon is hosting a trunk or treat Sunday afternoon. The car show and trunk or treat event starts at 2 p.m. in Lot 11. Vintage cars will be on display, and all proceeds will go towards Broncothon and the Children's Health Foundation.
And today, the Donna Nye Gallery opened its doors to viewers. The Golden Ratio Design Exhibit features the work of freshman and sophomore design students. Just a reminder, it is free to the public, so head on down to the Nye, and you might want to check that out before it closes, and that will close January 20th.
And head down to Mitchell Hall Theater tonight. The world premiere of a suspenseful new play is showing at 7:30. Rooster features a black detective in the 1940s investigating a routine infidelity. There will be adult themes and language.
Also going on around campus, coffee conversations with the Office of Equal Opportunity. This event is tomorrow morning from 9:30 to 10:30, where the Office of Equal Opportunity will discuss how to better serve the LGBTQIA community. This event will be in the Max Chambers Library Room 414.
And take a look at this. UCO's organizational leadership degree is ranked in the top 5 for online programs. This is according to the recent national ranking by Best Accredited Colleges. The degree came in 4th out of 26 programs across the state. Those programs were evaluated on tuition, educational value, and attainability.
And speaking of degrees, UCO is hosting a virtual open house for those interested in a Master's for Business Analytics. That open house will be November 3rd, and those attending will hear from faculty and current students. You can join that through Zoom at 11:30 a.m. Those interested will need to register to get that Zoom link.
And going on right now is Stress Pause. Head on over to the library to de-stress with these furry little guys. They're located on the 4th floor in the Max room. They're there until 5, so head on over there so you don't miss them.
And guess what? Fall semester is halfway over, and spring semester will be here soon, which means the application for alternative spring break will also be closing. There are 2 trips that students still have to apply to, but those applications close tomorrow night at midnight.
And it is definitely feeling a lot colder outside, Jackson, that's for sure.
It is, and we're going to get into a full weather forecast when we come out of the break. Full weather report coming. Don't go anywhere.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to UCentral News. As we approach spooky season, we have a few weather headlines we talked about before. We'll go back over them real quick. Some cool Halloween temperatures coming up. So it will be a lot cooler. We're not going to see any of those high temperatures that we've been seeing over the past few weeks, but we will be seeing some high winds and a few scattered showers coming our way in the near future. But the fall temperatures will be here to stay. Long gone are the days of the 80s. We are now firmly in the 60s, a few 70s coming down the pipe as we get later on in the week, but nothing right now as it stands. And so we're going to get into the current conditions around the state of Oklahoma, where we are largely now in the 60s. Guymon is going to be over here at 61. A few 70s left here at Altus and Lawton. Here in the metro area, we're going to be sitting right there at about 66 degrees, as we stated earlier. And around the state of Oklahoma, it's going to be much of the same. Tulsa sitting here at 66, McAllister at 66. A few places cooler, Clinton and Woodward, Enid at 63 and 64 respectively, and Ponca City a little bit hotter, and Miami sitting right there about the same, 67 and 65 degrees. As we get into tonight, what can we expect around the metro area, around Edmond, Oklahoma, going into the night as we're starting to all fall asleep? Well, we can expect it to cool down. 49 degrees, slightly cloudy. We are going to have a chance of rain coming in. Winds are going to die down pretty heavily as well, coming out of the east-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Humidity sitting right there, 35%, so we're not going to see much change as far as humidity goes from what we have been seeing throughout the day. Now, rain is going to pick up as the night goes on, 50 to 70% chance it hits us as we go into the day. As we go into the night. And as we get into there, we're going to look at the lows across the state of Oklahoma, where at the OKC area, it's going to stay about 50s. We get those lights beaten down. Just north of that is Edmond. We're going to start seeing that 47 degrees. Guyman getting down there. We're starting to see that, those Arctic temperatures starting to roll through, 42 degrees up there. But we're also going to be seeing some cooler temperatures. Altus, Lawton, Ardmore, McAllister, Idabel, all of them starting to stay consistent, anywhere from 50 to 48 degrees. Now we're going to have Tulsa and the Oklahoma City area, some bigger cities with more lights, more nightlife happening that are going to stay a little bit hotter. Now, as we get into tomorrow's highs, we're going to start seeing a lot more 50s. That rain is going to cool down the temperature quite a bit. 58 degrees in the metro area, 58 in Guyman, Woodward, and we're going to start seeing some cooler temperatures in the southwest corner of the state, 56, 56, 56 for Altus as we see that Arctic air start coming up from the southeast through the panhandle of Texas. Not quite going to make its way to the northeast corner of the state, 64, 65, 65 for Ponca City, Tulsa, and Miami. Now, some daily forecasts of what you can expect to see throughout the day. It's going to start off nice and brisk with that temperature coming down, that rain falling down along with it, 48 degrees. It will pick up the temperature as we go throughout the day. 53 by noon with a slight wind coming out, and then 58 up there at 7 p.m. Now, when we have a 7-day forecast, we're going to see 67, 58, the lowest we're going to see for a minute. Then we pick back up, 64, 67. And then when we get into Monday, we're going to start seeing those 70s again, 72, 74, 73. I will go over more detail with you on this when we do our last look later in the show. But for now, back to CJ at the desk.
Thanks, Jackson. And don't go anywhere. We've got social media with our very own Lauren Henry coming up next. Stay tuned.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the Mass Comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
I'm Lauren Henry, here to keep you updated on everything going on in the world of social media. For those of you who use TikTok, you may have seen the viral clips from the Darrell Brooks case. TikTok users followed the case closely due to Brooks' strange and erratic behavior during his trial. Brooks served as his own legal counsel and on many occasions frightened the judge with outbursts, arguing and intense staring.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information. dated this 26th day of October 2022, signed by the foreperson, juror number 11.
This verdict comes less than a year after he drove his car through a Wisconsin Christmas parade. Brooks now awaits sentencing. Also on TikTok, a new hashtag is circulating. This video has now gained over 300,000 likes and thousands of comments about the harsh and unfair treatment of pigeons after being domesticated by humans. The hashtag Justice for Pigeons is now being used to post response videos and reactions to the information that many are hearing for the first time. If you would like to help the pigeons, you can adopt one or donate to pigeon rescue facilities. And a man is taking it into his own hands to capture a role on the popular TV show CSI.
It was a TV role Josh Nally was dying to get, and dying and dying and dying. This Kentucky restaurant manager posed playing dead and posted the videos to TikTok over 300 times, all to convince a movie or TV show to let him play a corpse.
It was done out of boredom.
He posed as if he fell off a ladder, stringing Christmas lights. He sprawled in an icy creek, holding his breath while his dogs splashed around. He posed with a pumpkin on his head. And finally, CSI Vegas came.
After a year of his attempt, CSI Vegas flew the man out and gave him his very own unpaid cameo in Season 2. And if you or your family are interested in fun fall activities, look no further than the National Cowboy Museum. The annual Steampunk Festival will be taking place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Guests are encouraged to wear their best steampunk outfits or Halloween costumes. And speaking of Halloween, Netflix has released the first 2 episodes of Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. Viewers will follow along through the creepy and spooky tales from the acclaimed filmmaker, and new episodes are released every day leading up to Halloween. And here comes a new addition to OKC nightlife. The bar next door is a retro dive bar concept that claims to be the place to meet your next ex. It is located on 23rd Street and set to open tomorrow at 8 p.m. And I was watching the new Guillermo del Toro series, and I was shaking in my boots. I was so scared. I can't wait to watch the rest.
It's going to be an interesting show. This is one of the first times I'm hearing about it, but the premise is very cool. I'm personally a fan of creepy things. I love seeing it.
For sure, and if you're definitely a Halloween person and spooky vibes are right up your alley, that definitely is something that will help you take you into that Halloween night.
That's right. Well, when we come back, Patrick Talbot's going to give us our our bi-weekly sports update. Don't go anywhere. He's going to bring a UCO World Series, NBA, and more.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back, Broncos fans. I'm Patrick Talbot, and this is your Thursday Sports Update. This Saturday afternoon is homecoming for your UCO Broncos, and the matchup on Saturday between the Chos and the Pittsburgh State Gorillas pits two of the all-time winningest programs in Division II football history against each other. Pittsburgh State is first all-time with 735 all-time wins, and UCO right now sits in fourth with 649. Head coach Adam Dorrell on the importance of homecoming, but not letting homecoming distract his team.
We've got one job, it's to win the football game, and everybody knows that homecoming's pretty cool when football wins, and homecomings aren't a lot of fun when the home team loses, and so that's our number one responsibility.
And Central's got a huge test defensively, welcoming sophomore QB Chad Dodson Jr., who's in the midst of a great year for the Gorillas with almost 2,000 yards and more than 20 touchdowns on the season.
I think he gathers a lot of information in 20 seconds before the ball's snapped. So I think you have to be smart about what you're showing him, number one. Number two, I think you have to mix up your coverages and your fronts against him when he's comfortable. It's not good for the defense.
UCO will look to keep its unbeaten record in the newly renovated Chad Richardson Stadium intact Saturday afternoon, kickoff at 2 p.m. And to the NFL now, where Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens head to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Baltimore is 4-3 on the season, looking for its first set of back-to-back wins this season. Lamar Jackson is doing his part this year for the most part, 15 touchdowns on the season and just 2 turnovers. Baltimore has got to get their running game going to alleviate some of the stress from Jackson's shoulders. Meanwhile, in Tampa Bay, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers just have everyone confused. After starting 2-0, the Bucs are 1-4 since then, with no signs of momentum or improvement, and frankly, no signs of anything getting easier for them. The one thing they have going for them is they're in the worst division in the NFL. We'll see if they can get things turned around tonight against the Ravens. And on to the NBA now, where the Oklahoma City Thunder are back in action against the LA Clippers tonight in a sort of, back-to-back, but somehow a day in between matchup against the LA Clippers again, just like Tuesday. SGA was magnificent in Tuesday's game, scoring 33 and dishing out 8 assists. Thunder will need more of that tonight, as he and the team are expected to be without Josh Giddey again, who's still dealing with that ankle injury. Status for the LA Clippers 2 stars Paul George, who is dealing with an illness, and Kawhi Leonard dealing with knee stiffness, is still unclear. Both are probably game time decisions tonight. Thunder Clippers in the Paycom tip-off at 7 o'clock. And for the first time since his rookie year, LeBron James starts an NBA season with an 0-4 record. Last night's 110-99 loss against the Denver Nuggets just shows how far away the Lakers are from being championship contenders this season. And here's the thing, they can't blame Russell Westbrook for last night. He didn't play. LA has a chance to turn things around tomorrow night against the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Now to the Diamond, where the Fall Classic gets underway tomorrow night. After a 22-29 start, the Phillies fired their manager, Joe Girardi, and Rob Thompson took over as manager. Philly battled their way into a wild card spot, and now they've got that feel of a team of destiny to them. But they have a tall order ahead of them. What's there to say about anything other than the Houston Astros, as they've been one of, if not the best team in baseball all season? Now all that stands with them and their second Commissioner's Trophy in 5 years, Philadelphia Phillies. Let's dive into the matchup a little bit. Hitters, I think Philly has a slight edge with the bats they have. Harper, Hoskins, Schwarber, Castellanos, and the pride of Carl Albert, catcher, JT Realmuto. Defensively, give me the Astros. Though I like some of the gloves that Philly has, I think short of the catcher's position, Houston has the edge in the field at pretty much every position. Pitching, I give the edge to the Astros in both the starting rotation and the bullpen. Don't get me wrong, Philly has good pitching. I just think the Astros are better. It's hard for me to ignore the team of destiny vibes in my heart, but my head right now is just saying I don't know how Philly gets it done. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Stros in 7. That's going to do it for sports today. Let's go ahead and send it back to Jackson and CJ at the desk.
Thank you very much. And coming up, an animal makes history for a gross habit.
Find out what it is after this.
back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back to UCentral, and we are in the midst of spooky season and that spooky weather as well. Jackson, what can you tell us about that?
That's right, spooky weather coming your way as we get some rain coming down here into the early hours of the morning with temperatures coming in at about 48 degrees. It's going to be very cool, but the temperature will pick up continually as the day goes on. As we get to noon, wind is going to pick up just slightly there with temperatures coming in about 53 degrees. You might want to pull out your hoodies, your jackets, your beanies, whatever you need to do to stay warm, because you'll need it. But as we get into 7 p.m., it's going to get even warmer still at 58 degrees. 7-day forecast, 58 for tomorrow, 50 to 70% chance of rain, with it getting progressively hotter as the week goes on. But you can see those lows, 47, 47, 43, 42, 48, 52. And so we're starting to see those get a little bit lower, minus as the week goes on, but they will be going back down as the month and as we get into November. And that's what we have for weather. For now, I'm going to toss it back to CJ at the desk. We've got a little bit more news for you.
Thanks, Jackson. Well, take a look at this. An unexplained phenomenon has officials at NASA selecting a team of 16 scientists and experts who will delve into the mysteries surrounding this unidentified aerial movement, more popularly known as unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, for an independent study that just recently kicked off.
And Halloween is next Monday, and creative Iowa dad is putting his neighbor's decorations to shame. Greg Dietzenbach's newest invention, a monster door with breakout panels for arms and TV for eyes. This creepy contraption is sure to spook trick or theaters. We'll have to tune in next year for his next spooky project. And, well, get ready for this one. A lemur makes history for being the only lemur type to pick its nose.
Yes, that's right. This lemur is seen inserting her extremely long finger a surprisingly long way down her nose and then licking her finger clean.
Quite disgusting. As you can see, the lemur's long, skinny finger is apparently perfectly shaped for, well, let's call it deep digging for gold. And, oh, goodness.
That is certainly the deepest that I've ever seen in an animal.
But you know what? I don't think we should be too nosy about the situation. But as we get going into the week, let's try and put that behind us. It's Halloween season.
It is Halloween season.
I'm looking forward to some cooler temperatures. I probably won't be out trick-or-treating, but I will go buy some candy for myself all the same. What are you doing for Halloween?
I think I'm definitely going to dress up. I'm a big costume person, and you might not be trick-or-treating, but I'll be there knocking on lots of doors with my little goodie bag.
Okay, fair enough. And that is all the time we've got for you here today on UCentral News. I'm Jackson Rowbottom.
I'm Lauren. I'm
CJ Craig.
I'm Lauren.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe and happy Halloween.